Welcome to Kingsport, Tennessee for game number 3 of day 1 of the NAI opening round. We get a chance to finally see the number 1 team in the Kingsport bracket, the Weber International Warriors, as they take on the winners from our first game today, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. That's Frank Osborne. I'm Matt Kibbe here on SESN. Excited to have you along with us like we have all day long. It's our nightcap here in Kingsport and a day that has been moving, to say the least. We have seen some exquisite pitching on the mound from these teams. 2 complete game shutouts in our first 2 games. Now looking to add to that here. Frank, this is a game earlier we saw Indiana Wesleyan on the back of their starting pitcher and offense get a victory over the William Woods University Owls.
Yeah, Kevin Corser in the pitcher. He was excellent. He started us off with the first shutout of the day. Of course, it was followed up in the next one. We won't see him today, I'm sure. But they were excellent. Matthew Drozelek felt like he was getting hits almost every time he was at bat. But now facing against the number 1 seed, you have to turn up if you're playing against the favourites, that's for sure.
Drozelek didn't record an out at the dish. He was 3 for 3 in RBI. And he got a walk to go with it as well. This is the starting pitcher for the Weber International Warriors. That is Jalen Martinez. As we see a slicing ball into the left field gap, that's going to drop for a base hit. Our first hit of the game will come from the first batter, Gary Vineyard.
And that is the perfect start. They came in early this morning and they had to sit around all afternoon. So to start the evening with a base hit is exactly what they would have wanted.
Well, we were talking about that in game number 2 and a little bit in game number 1 of what does Indiana Wesleyan do during that break? And they actually went back to the hotel exactly like we thought they might, chilled out for a little bit, and then made their way back here to start getting ready for this game. It's their second game of the day. Called strike on Jay Tomes. Bunt laid down foul, and it's going to be 0-2 on Tomes. Jalen comes into this game a 3.95 ERA in just 13 and a 2/3 innings. So Weber is throwing off here in game number 1.
Yeah, we've spoken about that and how teams are going to tactically, when they're going to use their best pitchers, how long they're going to use pitchers for. That's a massive topic of conversation and something you just, unless you're at the tournament, I don't think you can really understand.
He's a senior from Wuki, Iowa. Transfer from Ball State to Weber International. Pickoff from the lefty. Also listed as an outfielder.
We all have a bit of versatility.
I don't think everybody's Shohei Ohtani nowadays. Last time he pitched was in that Kaiser game on 5-2. That's May the 2nd. He had pitched against Warner earlier in the year as well. Actually pitched against Kaiser twice this season. Of course, over the course of this long season, that Kaiser game was a 16-4 win, and he'll get his first strikeout of the day.
Yeah, that's a brilliant start. After giving away the first base hit, it's the perfect way to follow it up.
Braxton Brosmer, who is batting .301 on the year. We've seen some prolific offenses, but Indiana Wesleyan, one of the best ones in the country, as a team batting .317. Runner fakes the takeoff and heads back to first. They'll throw over team that doesn't mind running 115 stolen bases this year. And they've only been thrown out 18 times. 115 for 133. Too shabby.
Yeah, you'd fancy your chances with that. If anyone needs something stolen, Indiana Wesleyan's the team to go and get it done.
1-0. High fly ball, sky high, way above the lights that just turned on. And that will be caught by the right fielder, Mike Koyo. And we will see Matthew Drozelek come to bat here in the first inning.
I always think it's important for outfielders to get their first involvement nice and early. Especially, they've been sitting around all day probably waiting for this game, itching to get out there. So to get your first involvement and to make it just a nice, easy catch, it's always a good one to get on the board. Especially
Weber. You think about it for both teams. There's another pickoff, a little more obvious on the move. But Weber got here. They actually didn't fly in. They've flown into Kingsport in the past, but with prices and all this and working it all out, it made more sense to bus in. So they actually left on Saturday. They got him in the move. Pickoff, but it's going to turn into, almost a stolen base. Almost got around the tag to Greg Vineyard, but he kind of slowed up heading into second. And that's how Weber gets out of the inning. A pickoff does it. That is the third pickoff we've seen today from left-handed pitching, one in each game so far. We'll step aside and see Weber's bats come to the dish here to start off the bottom of the first inning on SCSN.
What if you can have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself as the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century. Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to call home.
Bottom of the first inning, first chance to see the Weber International Warriors offense here in Kingsport. And it starts off with the lefty Keegan Martin in a first pitch strike. Weber International is the rare at-large one seed. They did not get an automatic qualifier. The regular season champion in the Sun Conference does not get an automatic qualifier. It is the tournament champion and the tournament runner-up that do.
I bet they weren't expecting to be number one seed then.
I think they were had they had a strong Sun Conference, but I think that got into a little bit of question when it wasn't the Sun Conference tournament that they wanted. But to still survive all that, have a long enough regular season pool of games, at one point winning 17 games straight in Sun Conference play. That resume was pretty stacked. It was almost impossible to lose that 1 seed. But it's just, I mention it because it's a rarity to see a 1 seed as an at-large team. It just doesn't happen. 2-2 sent to center field. Tracking it back at the wall is Greg Vineyard. Takes a step in front of the warning track. Again, folks, if you were on our first game of the day, we talked about it, but for our Warrior faithful, this is a ballpark that will play a lot bigger. So this is a talking point you're going to hear from us throughout the entire week. Me and Frank are looking at each other right now like we have said this every single game. But it's important to note because if you're not used to Kingsport, which some of these teams are not used to, haven't been here for a few years, it's a park that plays big up here in the mountains. And you might think like the Colorado effect. Colorado notorious for that high altitude. Well, of course, we're not nearly as high up here like they are in the Rocky Mountains, but it does have a little bit of effect up here. No wind today, and we had a little bit of rain earlier, so the humidity has been knocking the ball down more than it normally does with that humid air, even though it's 67 degrees. That's not a lie either. I wasn't doing that for the bit. It's actually 67 degrees.
Well, we've been saying that it's almost like you're hitting it up the mountain sometimes, the way the ball slows down. It looks like it's flying.
There's one for us. Oh, I was ready. I almost.
If you had your glove, you've got that.
I would have gone out the window. I would have gone out the window to get that. It almost got us.
There's a lot of equipment getting damaged if it does come in.
If it comes in here, we're cooked. Not only is our equipment damaged, we're damaged. Because it's got to be a hot shot to get up here. It's got to be a line drive just like that. We're just to the left of the camera that you're looking at right now, up on the second level of the press box, so overlooking the overhang that is the protective netting for the VIP seats behind home plate. 2-2 called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Tug Hollinsworth, first strikeout victim of the game for Weber International.
Yeah, Noah Wovens had the ideal start. He watched his teammate have, the best possible start really you could have for the tournament, and now he's coming out and showing why he's as good, if not better.
Yeah, doesn't even give us a chance to introduce him to his numbers because Mark Snowden is out in right field to make the catch off of Ty Matthews, the former Indiana Wesleyan Wildcat, who for 4 years. He flies out to end the bottom frame here in the first, and we will head to the second on SESN.
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
Top of the second here in Kingsport. We get through the first without any hiccups. Only one runner got on, and he was picked off. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing, and we'll see Matthew Drozlik lead us off here in the second inning. Matthew this season has been good. 376 on the year. He's a strike and it's 1-1.
Yeah, we've already spoke about how good he was this morning.
And a lot of that introducing you to this Indiana Wesleyan team. That's the weird thing on this first day is they're the team we see twice. They get rewarded for winning by playing the second game of the day. The only team to do so. But the positive to that is it's not an elimination game. You know you're going to play tomorrow. And you know it's going to be in the afternoon. You're not one of the morning games, so you get a little bit more recovery. That's part of the reason why. Weber International serves as the home team, as the #1 overseed, and because Indiana Wesleyan was already the home team in their earlier game where they were the higher seed.
It does feel a little harsh, though. You win your game, and it's like, congratulations, well done for winning. Go have the #1 seed in a couple of hours.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, yeah. And so you saw William Woods is going to be playing tomorrow. That game is at 11. They know their opponent now, LSU Alexandria. That will be an elimination game. We'll send our first team home from Kingsport. We'll be sending 2 teams home tomorrow. The loser of this game will await the winner of that elimination game at 11. Kickoff. That's the fun of the 5-team tournament. There's a couple of 4-teams tournament this year. Those are tough just because you don't have as much forgiveness and you're seeing a lot of the same team over and over again, but these 5 teams are grueling. Another one fouled off. That could have came our way, but it doesn't.
Straight into the car park. With some decent insurance back there.
If it hits my car, we're cooked. We're going to have a problem. You'll see me throw off this headset. I will be down on the field. 1-1. Sway around to bunt. Pushed foul. See if Indiana Wesleyan is going to elect to play a little bit more small ball. They were able to score 6 runs in their first game today against William Woods.
It depends how much they trust their pitching. I mean, it paid off in the first, but I mean, they're playing Weber now, which is a completely different animal.
Check swing, didn't go. I could tell from up here. 2-2. Indiana Wesleyan, members of the Crossroads Conference. One of the most grueling conferences in the country. Housing the #1 team in the nation, the #1 overall seed in the tournament, and Taylor University. Called strike 3. Top of rail breaking ball on Ben Seitzinger, and that's the first out here in the second. Indiana Wesleyan is back in the 30-win column this season for the 6th consecutive season. The more impressive reason to bring up that stat is the last 4 years that they've gotten 30-plus wins, all with a different head coach. It says a lot about the testament of these players and some of the carryover that has happened from each coaching staff to the new team, and still able to win 30 games consecutively, even with the changeover.
I feel like they're just one of those schools that athletically they're always up there nationally. Basketball, soccer, football, like they're always up there.
It helps when you have really good facilities as well, and Indiana Wesleyan does. Crandall Family Field, the home of the Wildcats. Makes it a little bit easier to keep some of that turnover when those new coaches come in, but they feel like they have found their guy this year. Matt Baer is in his first season. He is a graduate of Anderson University, a Division III school back in 2001, and was actually the head coach there for the past 8 years. And it's one of the toughest decisions to make as a coach, to leave your alma mater when you were the head coach having success and go and challenge yourself somewhere else. And that is exactly what Matt Baer did. He said, I have to leave here. I have to leave the place that I've known and loved my entire life, or my entire adult life, I guess I should say. And I have to go and try something. I have to challenge myself. And that's what he said. Not that it wasn't a challenge at Anderson, but he needed something new. And that's what Indiana Wesleyan provides him.
Yeah, I like it. It's a bit of a risk. You've got the security, the safety blanket of being at basically your home school. I like it's brave to come in, and he's doing well now, so it's worth the risk.
Brought a couple of guys with him, both on the coaching staff and players. That's what's led to some success this year. Nick Wiley, 1-2 count against Jalen Martinez. Swung on and missed. That is the second out here in the second inning. Back-to-back strikeouts, third one of the day for Martinez. Trevor Vikoski. He's the catcher for this team, a junior and a captain for the Wildcats. And .341 this season. First one fouled away. Team that's played 57 games, he's played in 50 of them now.
50 games in a season is impressive.
It's become the norm now for these NAIA teams. If you want to have success, you need consistency in the lineup. 0-1. Ground ball, fair, picked up by Schultz. He'll throw over to first. The pick isn't there for Ty Matthews, and the runners are going to advance to second and third with 2 away. This is exactly what Indiana Wesleyan was banking on coming into this game.
That was one of those ones where it's almost too simple of a catch. Like, he's done it so many times before at first base that he's already probably thinking about the next ball. But now 2 in scoring position.
They give the error to the third baseman, Sky Schultz. This is exactly what Coach Baer said. We have to play against the game, not them. When they make mistakes, take advantage of them.
I like that.
Here's the first opportunity. No matter if you're the 1 seed, undefeated in a league, there's always going to be opportunities for your opponents. It's how you respond to them. 1-0, swung through. That's for both sides. Sudden change. How is Indiana Wesleyan here with Mark Snowden? Can he get a base knock and give them an early lead? If you're Weber, can you go out there and shut them down after a mistake is given up?
Well, that's what the best teams do. They recover from mistakes so quickly.
1-1 goes to 1-2. And sometimes that means putting the team on your back for the final out in the inning. Certainly something Jalen Martinez can do, even in his limited time on the mound this season.
Well, I think that's what we've seen from pitchers all day today. It was course around in the first game. Jackson for Tennessee Wesleyan, they just took it upon themselves to almost say to the team, I'll do my job, you guys go score a run, forget about the rest of it.
There's got to be some type of record for most complete games in an opening round day on the very first day. A chance for a third one here, maybe a fourth, who knows? That's going to get away. Here comes a run. The ball's not going to bounce back close enough for Steve Nitch to get to at the catcher. And Indiana Wesleyan is our first road team to score today.
That is not what Weber needed. I mean, the dream start for Indiana Wesleyan, but not what Weber needed. It's not probably what they would have expected from Martinez.
Swings through the 2-2. Mark Snowden goes down on strikes. So Jalen Martinez pitches all strikeouts here in the second, but Indiana Wesleyan is able to get the first run across courtesy of an error and a wild pitch. We head to the bottom of the second. The road team leads 1-0.
What if you can have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself as the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century. Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to call home.
Well, here's a moment that we haven't seen in a long time, but has been the norm for Weber in an instance like this. Jalen Martinez, we mentioned, traditionally an outfielder, has pitching innings this year, but because of that and his experience at the plate, he will bat for himself. So a little National League style. And there's a reason why he's batting, the best batter on this team at 405.
That's not bad, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. Leads the team in that category. That's dropped down for a base hit, and that's why he's batting 405 this season.
We said about like someone taking the game on their back, taking it by the scruff of the neck. By pitching and being able to bat, you give yourself a real good chance of being able to do that.
And so with him being the pitcher, the NAIA still allows you to have a courtesy runner for your pitcher and your catcher. So David Zamora is going to be the pinch runner over at first. The batter is Will Gisriel. Down low, and it's a ball.
Some serious sound effects coming from one of the dugouts.
I think it's both of them. Both are guilty. Weber International 86 for 102 on stolen bases this year. Throw over again.
And the groans continue.
Never 3 times.
Do it again, do it again.
Called strike. It's 2-1. The baseball chants can get creative. Never twice, never thrice. They couldn't possibly do it 4 times. At one point, I had somebody pick off 5 times in a row.
Did they get them?
They did not. It was never close, any of the 5 times. It was the most annoying thing. At that point, after we said never 4 times, and then he threw it over a 5th time, we just booed him.
From the commentary box.
Another throw over the Third time here. That was a little bit of a quicker move from the lefty. It's a lefty versus lefty matchup with Noah Wathen and Jalen Martinez going at it here. It's going to end up being a walk. So the first two are on for Weber International after Indiana Wesleyan took the early lead.
Oh, that's what we said in the last part of the innings. The best teams respond so well to difficult situations.
And here's that moment, is how are you going to respond? Both sides once again. Mike Cuello. Fouls it straight back, and it's going to be 0-2 on Mike, the transfer from South Florida State in his senior year. It's up and away, 1-2.
Just in a bit of a tough spell here, Noah Wathen.
One, two in the dirt. Another one fouled away, and it's going to stay 2-2. World Series team last year for Weber, as it's 3-2. They've been in these predicaments, but the only difference here is this is a brand new roster. There's only a few, now there is carryover, but only a few of the carryover from last year to help build that tradition and build that culture that got them to a World Series last year. Cuello, 3-2, swung through. First out of the inning. A big one for Wathen.
Yeah, he did really well there because there was somewhat a battle going on between the batter and the pitcher, and especially if one in scoring position and one on first to get out of that. He's got 2 more outs he needs. And the Weber dugout is up for it today.
Another one lifted up. That'll be caught out in center field by Vineyard. And after the first two get on, Indiana Wesleyan is able to get the next two. I point out the World Series run because we have 2 World Series finalists or participants in that Avista World Series last year in Weber International and Tennessee Wesleyan, and there's a chance we could see a rematch from last year. Tennessee Wesleyan won that game 17-7.
Yeah, that would be a game that I think would have the whole nation sort of monitoring. I think those were the 2 names that everyone, when they saw the draw come out in the Kingsport bracket, sort of went, oh.
That's what we, and you see them at 1-2, so you're looking at the potential. That's who the winner of this game will play. Tennessee Wesleyan waits tomorrow.
And how good were they today?
They were, arguably, we got to see what Weber does here through the next 9 innings of baseball, but Tennessee Wesleyan can make a case.
Although they'll have no Justin Jackson tomorrow.
Both these teams with depth, though. That's the thing. If you're in that 1-2 spot, traditionally here, especially at the NAI level, if you're 1-2, that means you've had consistent pitching and a decent amount of it. I'm not saying you have a lot of it, but you have enough of it that should be able to get you through as a 1 or 2 seed. A little deke from the runner, and they'll take the easy one on the fielder's choice to get out of it. 6-4 fielder's choice, so Weber International threatens but does not score. It's 1-0 as we go to the third here from Kingsport.
All of the ways to watch your favorite local and regional sports. Join us now on Twitch TV. You can also find NSBN on Amazon Fire TV or visit us live on YouTube as we stream games there as well. Another fan favorite way to watch is nsbnsports.com. You can also find us through our NSBN app, free to download from the Google Play Store, and Roku TV, where you can find all of our content. NSBN Sports, visit us at nsbnsports.com.
Third inning here on SESN. Excited to have you with us wherever you may be watching from, whether that's Urban Edge Network, SESN on YouTube, SESN on Roku. Wherever you are, we appreciate your support. Long fly ball out to just left of center field. They got a guy there, though, in Tug Hollinsworth, and that will be the first down on a long fly ball. That's what we mean about the park playing big. It is 410, a country mile out to center field.
Yeah, that looks like it was gone as soon as it hit his bat, but yeah, like we've been saying.
And you can't just hit a high fly ball. It has to be a line drive, and it's got to be high enough to get over an 8-foot fence. Bunt for a base hit. That is speed that you can't teach for Craig Vineyard.
Yeah, that is excellent. Something about a bunt I will always like. When they pay off, it's just bunts are they're brilliant. It's like a ballsy move saying, yeah, go on, chase me.
Especially with nobody on base, a little bit of a drag bunt. And, you know, when you need runs and you need ways to produce them, it's a nice tool to have in your bag. Now, because they just saw the speed, and because they've already picked off Greg today, you're going to see a couple of them thrown that way from the lefty on the mound and Jalen Martinez. First pitch is down. 1-0. That was the second hit for Indiana Wesleyan today. Another one sent out to right field into the shadows. Then Jay Tomes is sent back to the dugout. Mike Cuello is over there. Second out.
Yeah, and like we've been saying about how big the field feels, something like nice about how you've had two big hits recently, both out. The bunt on base. Maybe that's the way to go, using my baseball expertise. Trying
to move the runner, but you know Weber's keeping such a close eye on the base runners that it's hard to get them in motion. You'd imagine Indiana Wesleyan's going to want to run a couple of hit and runs here today. There's a huge hole because they're anticipating the steal. So between second and first, if you can drive it that way, which the last two hitters have been trying to do, but they've gotten underneath it, and that has led to flyouts like this. Mike Cuello is going to be busy if that's the game plan today, because they are getting underneath of Jalen Martinez's fastball and lifting it out to right field. So outside of the drag bunt hit, a couple of fly balls, and that's going to do it for the top of the third. And we'll see if Weber International can get some runs on the board when we come back.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
Sky Schultz will lead us off. 9-1-2 in the order for Weber International. One and one on Sky.
Telling you, that Weber dugout is a dugout who have been waiting to play.
Ground ball to first. It'll be a race, and it won't be a close one. Nick Wiley is there. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. Here with one away in the third. Keegan Martin.
Yeah, he's their top run scorer, 68 on the season. Not a bad person to have coming up when you need to open the scoring.
Sees the first pitch strike. Leading hit getter on this team as well with 79. Next closest is Ty Matthews with 76. Does that while batting .399 on the season. One and one. That's a called strike, and it's going to go to 2 strikes. Doesn't strike out a lot either. Nearly 200 at-bats, has only struck out 14 times. 1-2. That's going to be a base hit right through the wall at second. That was Braxton Broschmer. And there's the one-out single for Weber. And we will see Tug Hollinsworth.
And that's the ideal part of the... No, it's the person you want to get on base for Webber. You've got the top of the batting order. Your number 1's on. And the ideal people coming up to drive him home, potentially.
Middle of the order. Ty Matthews is on deck, the former Wildcat.
And he's got 68 runs driven in already this season, which is the highest in the side.
One is going to be a pickoff attempt. It's a team that's been resilient for Webber, and not often you hear that phrase used for a team that at one point went on a 17-game win streak. But they've dealt with some adversity throughout the year. They only lost one Sun Conference series. That was to Kaiser back early in the year before they went on their 17-game win streak. And then they get to the Sun Conference after winning their first ever regular season title in school history in the Sun Conference for baseball. They get into the conference tournament, and that's where the wheels, in a fashion of being that it's conference tournament and everything goes weird, you never know what's going to happen, the wheels kind of fell off. They go 2-2 in the conference, don't make it to the championship game, and that's going to be ball 4. So Hollinsworth is on, runners at first and second again for the Warriors.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier, it's about peaking at the right time in the season. I mean, 17 wins, that's excellent, but you make it a bit more difficult if you can't turn up at the important time in the conference tournament when all eyes are on you and when it matters.
And that was the problem that they just had to fight through. And Colin Martin, who was the Sun Coach of the Year, asked him about that, and he said, I told him, I knew exactly what he was going to say, because it's as true as ever. If you were the Coach of the Year, yes, it's individualized and it's given to the head coach, but that is a staff award.
Yeah.
That is a coaching staff award. It'll be almost better to rule it, instead of it being the Coach of the Year, be the Staff of the Year. And that's for every conference. They're going to try and do a back pick to first. It's going to get away. And here's that mistake that Webber was waiting for. They are going to answer and get that run back on an error of Wesleyan's make.
Wow. When you're playing against a team like Webber, you can't give them a chance. Give them an inch, they'll take that mile. Scores are level.
They were trying to steal an out and catch Hollinsworth off guard over at first. Problem was, it looks like there was a little bit of confusion between Wathan and Wiley over at first. And it handcuffed him, the throat it, so he wasn't even able to keep it in front of him. And here in Kingsport, yeah, it's not a lot of foul territory, but it's pretty far back over in those corners where it jets out. Symmetrical field with the turf, as it so often is. But a little bit more room than maybe what you're used to seeing with turf, especially down in the corners. It's a little bit wider and doesn't jut as much. So Webber trying to get a lead, infield in for the Wildcats. It's 1-2 on Ty Matthews. Here's the fun story. I can only imagine the conversations that Trevor Vukoski and Ty Matthews are having, former teammates. Teammates with a bunch of these guys. He spent 4 years in Wildcat Red.
How excited do you think he was when the bracket came out?
Knew he had a chance to see this matchup and see his former team. He said he just wanted to experience something different for his final year of eligibility, which has been typically the case in those fifth year transfers. Is you just kind of want to experience something new, get a chance to go somewhere else. And Matthews is going to swing through the 2-2. He's 0 for 2 now against his former team.
Yeah, not having the start that he would have wanted because he'd have probably been thinking about the potential of this game all year. Still a long way to go, though. We're only in the bottom of the third.
Well, the fun thing for finish up that conversation on Ty Matthews is Coach Martin knew all about him. He had been a killer of Weber. He'd seen him play against him. He's gotten runs and hits against him for years. And so when it was Ty who reached out to Weber and said, hey, I'm thinking about using my 5th year with you guys. What's the deal? Can I make that happen? Colin Martin, looking at me as he was telling me the story, had a huge smile on his face and said, absolutely, we will take you. A ground ball to second. That's going to do it for the 3rd inning. 4-3 on the final putout as Broschmer is over there to get it. But Indiana Wesleyan commits an error, and that allows the door to open for Weber International to get that run back. We're in a brand new ball game, 1-1 as we've played 3.
What if you can have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself. As the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century, Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to call home.
Fourth inning here in Kingsport. We're at Hunter Wright Stadium in East Tennessee. A beautiful backdrop here in Kingsport at Hunter Wright. It's the mountains that are around us. The dog park is off in the distance behind left field. A couple of trails are over on the mountainside around Hunter Wright. A lot of things to do around here. One most notably, as Weber International gets back into this game, one most notably for their own coach, Colin Martin, and a couple of the assistants. Ground ball, diving stop by Jazz Love, throws over, not in time. Good play, but too much speed for Drozlik, which is an oxymoron for the designated hitter. Beat it out there. So I was asking Coach Martin Frank, I asked him, I go, so what was the travel like? And that's how I figured out they bust in this year instead of flying. But he said, I asked him, when did you guys get in? Because some teams like to get in on, especially if you're the 1 seed, because you know you have the latest practice on Sunday. So sometimes it's actually easier to come in on Sunday, kind of get acclimated a little bit, but then go to practice and then go in and then you're right into it. Weber took a different approach. They came in on Saturday, used the whole day to drive, about a 12-hour bus ride. It got in, they left early, 6:30 or so in the morning. They got here at 5:30, so 11 and a half hours, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was the plan was to get here as early as possible on Saturday so that they had the night to themselves to get acclimated to Kingsport. They know the spots to hit. They've been here a couple of times, but part of the other reason, after everything's set away and the whole entire team is ready to go, the 2-0, lifted out into left field. That's going to be a blue pit single, and the Drozlik will hold at second. They'll get it back in on the infield. Runners at first and second. First real good offensive chance since the second inning for Indiana Wesleyan. So they get here on Saturday. They get everything taken care of. Everybody's good to go. And so Coach Martin, as Coach Martin does, makes a call looking for a guide, and he gets one. And what does he do on Sunday morning before they have the late practice on Sunday evening? That meaning about 4 o'clock they were able to come in and get their practice work in.
Good.
He spent 4 hours fly fishing in East Tennessee rivers. He says it's been a little bit of a tradition every time they're in Kingsport. They're from Florida, right? From lower Florida. And they don't get a chance to fly fish out there. He loves catching fish.
You could have given me so many guesses.
You would have never guessed fly fishing. But that's what Coach Martin was doing on Saturday. He says it's a little bit therapeutic for him as well. Kind of gets him into the right mindset while his team is resting and he knows they're all taken care of. They go and get a rental car. He was able to take a couple of coaches with them. They get a guide that has the boat. They meet at a grocery store before going out to the launch. And he spends 4 hours out on the rivers here in East Tennessee fly fishing.
Does the whole team go, or is it just
No,
the coach?
just him and the coaches. Yeah, just him and a couple of coaches. He says he leaves the team to let them kind of have the day because they were together for so much. They get dinner the night before as a team. And so it's kind of like his moment to kind of escape for a moment and get ready for the weekend and for the week. Timing play, daylight play, not in time. 2-1 is the count back in the batter's box. But, every coach has their own way to adjust to the postseason. And a lot of it, you can kind of tell the vibes for different teams based on talking to the head coach. And Coach Martin, for sure, is one of those guys. He said, I really don't care what happens. I'm so proud of this team already for what they've accomplished this year. We're just playing baseball at this point. Hard fly or line drive and a little bit too hard to allow the run to score. You have to go station to station. Good arm from Griswold. And the bases are loaded with nobody out for Weber International's defense.
Well, as a college athlete myself, those postseason tournaments are something that you can't really replicate probably ever again. The amount of time you spend with the same group of boys and having video game tournaments and quiz nights, and maybe I'll have to raise fly fishing next year.
Maybe, right? Matt Saliba is the coach making his way out. At one point was the American Baseball Coaches Association NAIA Assistant Coach of the Year. That was back in 2023. Colin Martin is in his 7th season at the helm, going up against first-year head coach Matt Baer, who is not his first year as a head coach, but his first year with Indiana Wesleyan. Bases are loaded, tie ball game. Weber was just able to answer back in the bottom of the 3rd. Now here in the top of the 4th, Indiana Wesleyan is knocking at the door again.
Well, when a coach has been there as long as Weber's coach has, there's no surprise he's got his rituals for postseason. He's been here, he's done it. He's got the T-shirt.
Throwback to 3rd. Oh. That's a saving play.
Wow.
From Skylar Schultz. The throwback was going to go way out into left field. 2 runs, potentially 3. We could have scored on that. And he makes a diving stop, almost deked the runner and got him off the bag.
Well, we spoke about goalkeeper-esque dives in soccer. That was definitely a goalkeeper-esque dive.
Vikoski is at the dish. The 2-0 fouled straight back. It's going to go 2-1. This is the unsung hero, which is saying a lot because he's a junior captain for this team and still does enough of the right things that he flies under the radar with the rest of this lineup down in the 7th spot. Says Coach Bear says he does everything right. Can't ask for a better guy to be a part of this program. That's a foul ball again, and it's 2-2. Corners are in, playing even with the bag. The middle is at double play depth, looking to, in a way, surrender the runs for the outs. That's kind of the moment in this game that you're at so early on. If it was a little bit later, maybe we see the infield in. That's going to bounce short, goes 50 feet. And a big block from Steven Nitsch. So the third baseman has helped bail out Martinez, and now his catcher helps him out with the big block. Now he's got to deliver his best pitch on the 3-2. There's nobody away with the bases loaded. 3-2. Ground ball. Picked up, they'll go to home. It's going to be off the mark. The throw just misses, and it is the second run of the game and gives Indiana Wesleyan the lead. Had the force out on the fielder's choice, but the throw is up the first baseline, and we're in the same spot, but this time the tie is broken.
Yeah, it was probably the right decision to go for that one, given the situation and given where it went, but just got away. It's been a game sort of really defined by errors so far.
A second one for Weber.
But now the Wildcats, they have to make this count. Still no outs and still the bases loaded. They have to be ruthless.
Check swing, yes he did. It was the 86th error of the year. Team that has turned 40 double plays, and we're going to get an offensive timeout here from Coach Bear and company. He's going to bring over Mark Snowden and settle him back in. Vukoski reaches on the fielder's choices. The bases are loaded.
Yeah, I've just zoomed in, and I think I can see, with a bit of lip reading skills, he's just gone, you see them trees? Hit that one.
Yeah, whichever one you want. I don't care which one.
One of them trees.
Open this game up.
But there is quite a high likelihood that this might be the only ever time the bases are loaded against Weber, so they have to make it count.
Already have gotten one run, still nobody out, so you can sacrifice an out for a run here.
Yeah, almost just go for the fly out and tag up.
Got to elevate it and get it deep. Can't be on the infield, can't be shallow. Have to have enough room for Seitenzinger to score, who does have speed. Instead of hitting a fly ball, why not hit a line drive into the gap? One run is in. Here comes a second. Third one is being waved around. They'll hold him up there. It is a 2 RBI double. And the lead is 4-1.
That is exactly what the coach would have just been telling him to do. Probably even better. And the Wildcats double their lead.
Great piece of hitting and a great offensive timeout. That's going to do it for Jalen Martinez. He gives up 4 runs. Defense had a couple of errors behind him. He pitched good, but can't get through more than that. Indiana Wesleyan gets him for 4, and a new pitcher will come in for Weber International. We'll be right back to tell you more about him when we come back on SESN.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Austin Dobbins is the new pitcher for Weber International. .51 innings pitched, 5.47 ERA. Last time he was on the mound was against Warner on May the 1st. It was one of the losses in the Sun Tournament. As the infield will come in for Weber.
It is so important that he comes and he finds his groove straight away with 2 still in scoring position for the Wildcats, looking to make it 6 runs to 1. He cannot take a while to get going. It would be catastrophic.
Need a gimme out. Bunt, suicide. They'll bring the throw back over there. He's got no play. Ty Matthews can't corral the bunt. It gets caught in his glove. And Indiana Wesleyan suicides one across.
Yeah, you absolutely take that. Almost take one for the team. I don't mind.
Suddenly, the 4 seed has a 4-run lead on the top seed in Kingsport.
Yeah, they've not had a bad day today, have they?
No, as strong as you can get. Indiana Wesleyan now 1 run away from tying what they did in game number 1 against William Woods. 5-1 the score. First pitch, ground ball, need a double play. 4, 6, 3, double play in time, but the run comes in. Run still scores. Vingard. And Indiana Wesleyan is saying that wasn't a double play. It was as close as you can get over at first base.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's almost, it's not the end of the world because they still got the run. But, I mean, it would have been nice to get the run and keep yourself alive. But it's not been a bad top of the 4th.
If there's any way that you can take it, that is the best one. First base umpire feeling it here after the check swing strike. Back-to-back calls, the spotlight was on him. 0-1. Here as Austin Dobbins works. It's on the outside and it's 1-1. And when you're the 4 seed, that intensity rises a lot as you try and every pitch matters.
Yeah, almost the realization that it's possible to do the upset and everything becomes so much more, intensified. They probably came into it thinking, it'd be nice if we could upset it, but how realistic is it? Maybe not. But now they're in a position where they lead by 5 nearly halfway through this game. Suddenly stress levels are through the roof.
Yeah, that's the tough part. And so suddenly every call also is under a microscope.
Yeah.
Hey, you're against me if it's not going my way.
I think that'll be sport forever.
It always will be. That's what makes sports so great. The underdog story, the 2-2. Ground ball, fair, backhanded by Schultz. Throw over, long hop, uses the turf. Ty Matthews is there, and that's the final out. A 5 spot for the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan, and they are in front over the top team in the Kingsport bracket by a score of 6-1. You're watching NAIA opening round baseball coverage on SCSN Sports.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.
The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Gear up and climb the Hawk's Nest. Work together as a team to complete 4 high ropes challenges, all while suspended 40 feet in the air. Finish with a zip through the canopies on our 310-foot zip line. Our ground course features 9 exciting challenges and is perfect for large and small groups. The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Thrilling fun for group events, parties, and field trips.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device.
Look at the Indiana Wesleyan dugout and coaching staff. You see Coach Bear getting ready to go, and I think he had a coffee with them. 1-0 here as they have no lead is comfortable, but I'll say a comfy lead of 5 runs, a cushion, if you will. This Weber International team can score, and they have all year.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're playing against a team of the quality that Weber have, it could go down to the last innings and you still would be nervous.
This is a team that more often than not, and the odds say this is true, called strike on a check swing, a team that more often than not will score double digits. Very rare this year that they haven't put up double-digit numbers in a game.
No pressure, no Warven.
They need another game like that here today, but the postseason is so weird. You never know how it's going to go. You never know what could happen.
I think that's what makes it so special, though. If it was just the favourites just easing through, it'd be boring.
High in the sun. It's a little bit of a high sky, and was able to fight through it. Was Jay Tomes.
Yeah, he does well to just watch it down. The sun's at that annoying height where it's probably just in everyone's eyes.
If you can't tell from our view here on SESN, but at this point, all of the mound is in some sort of tree line shade. The right-handed batter's box is still in the sun, so you're dealing with deceptive shadows from the mound to home plate. And then everything except a sliver of left field in the outfield is covered in shadows from the trees. The sun's starting to set behind them here in Kingsport.
Having a battle with the sun with our cameras.
Cuello called strike. 1-2. Lathan has been good outside of the last inning where he gave up the lone run, but his offense picked him back up immediately. 1-2. Swung on and missed.
Yeah, if he felt bad about that last giving away one, got backed up by his friends, and then hopefully here he can continue to show them his thankfulness, his appreciation.
The best way to show that support to your offense is to go and get 3 quick outs and keep the momentum on your side. That was the fourth strikeout for the lefty. And the southpaw is going to get that 1-2-3 inning. 4-3 on the putout. And Indiana Wesleyan carries all the momentum here in Kingsport. 6-1 is our score as we head to the fifth here on SESN.
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
Well, a cloud just went in front of the sun that we were just talking about, so the whole entire field now in a cast of shade. As we see Austin Dobbins back on to work. It's Frank Osborne, Matt Kibbe with you here on SESN. Excited to have you along with us wherever you may be watching from. I just tweeted out about the game here, and certainly you can make the case for it through 4 innings. Upset alert is on. I believe it would be the first one of the day. I'd have to go and look at all the scores. I've kept track of the NAIA ball guys, but don't have a full. I'm going to call them out and see if they're listening right now and message me and let me know, have there been any big upsets so far today? And this would be the moment right now. The games that would be the biggest upsets would be happening right now at this point. So I don't know if anybody else is in a similar boat that we are here in Kingsport, but we'll have to take a look and see if the NAIA ball guys can help us out.
Yeah, is it not the first time that the number 1 seeds will have played would be right now?
It would be right
across
now across the board, yeah. A couple of the 4th-seeded brackets may have gotten underway a little bit earlier than us here, but it's been a fun start to the NAIA baseball tournament here, the opening round in Kingsport. 9 other sites hosting games all over the place. The eventual World Series destination, Lewiston, Iowa, is a host this year for the opening round. 2-2 on Braxton Broschmer. He swings through, and that's a big out for Weber. They need quick outs. They need a quick inning here. 1 run in the second for Indiana Wesleyan. 5 runs the last inning. That's built up their lead.
Yeah, we've spoke about how people need to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and the pitcher's got to have to do. He probably cannot afford to give away a single another run. Otherwise, I mean, it's a big ask. He needs to just control the game, put it in, make it so that he's done everything that he possibly could do. and then go to his offense. Go on then. You do your job.
Dobbins has to be the doorstop here. He got all 3 outs in the 4th. Jalen Martinez, who was the starter, went 3 innings. Couldn't get an out after the bases got loaded and a run came in. 0-2. Hard ground ball on the turf. Sliding stop by Martin. Throws over to Ty Matthews in time for the putout. That is a nice play by the shortstop, or by the second baseman, Keegan Martin. The senior from Newmarket, Ontario, and a transfer from Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Martin to Matthews is a very experienced part of the infield for Weber, and no surprise them coming in clutch there.
I always have a little soft spot for the guys that are the Canadians and also the Michiganders starting out there. I can have a little bit of bias there, the Michigander roots myself.
Don't think there's any English people in our conference. Or in NLA, probably.
There's got to be some.
Maybe one.
Somewhere. NLA is a big league. 1-0. That one almost comes into our basket, our nest, high atop Hunter Wright Stadium. One and one on Ben Seisinger, who sees a second strike, and it's 1-2 on the big man who plays third today. Had a hit and scored back in the 4th. They sent 8 batters to the plate and put 5 runs across. 1-2 for Dobbins. Outside, and it's 2-2.
Well, the thing is, now that the Wildcats have got this lead, they don't have to be too aggressive. They can be a bit more patient and selective with what they're going to swing at.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. A beautiful pitch from Austin Dobbins, and exactly what Weber International needed. A scoreless frame and a 1-2-3, no momentum for Indiana Wesleyan. Now it's time for Weber to see if they can get that momentum back offensively, down by 5.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back. Called strike to start things off from Noah Wathan, who's been as good as he can possibly be. in a moment that these two teams meet, it is the Indiana Wesleyan pitching staff that has held the highest of any team so far today, because they're the only one that's played 2, and their pitching staff has been incredible, only using 2 so far. There's a lift out into left field. That will be right in the sun, but caught and playable by Jay Tomes, and that's going to be the first out.
Yeah, and we've spoken about how this would be an upset. If you look at the stats between the two sides coming into the game, Weber, of course, has got a better record, 37-17 compared to the 35-20. Still not a bad record, of course. They are at Nationals for a reason. The interesting one, I think, Indiana Wesleyan, 77 home runs to Weber's 44. But there you look at the pitch of a 5 earned run average to a 6.64.
That's the pitching that we knew was going to be. The pitching wasn't going to keep you in games. It's the offense. And right now, Indiana Wesleyan has been able to rely on their pitching and kind of anchor to the back of it. Quickly 2-0 though here on the 9-hole hitter, Skylar Schultz. This is a team that at one point had to flip the switch in Weber, and they have to have another one of those moments today. It started the year, it was a strange start to the year. Really little up and down, the games against Thomas, Faulkner, Mount Mercy. And it was an up and down start. This team had to dig deep and find their identity. Remember, 85% of this team is transfers or new guys that haven't been around Weber baseball. And so you almost have to build the program back up this year after a World Series run last year.
Well, that shows just how important the coaching staff being not new is, because if you've got a completely new, well, a majority new squad, you have to have some people that have been there, done it.
Yeah, it's a good carryover with Matt Saliba, who's in his 9th season. Colin Norton is there. Aaron Karras is in his, I believe, his 3rd season. And then you have some GAs in Jake Curry and Easton Cohn, who have been important aspects of this team as well. And you can see how good this team relies on it. One thing to be said is a lot of other #1 seeds, if they were in this same situation, that dugout would be really quiet.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as engaged as Weber International has continued to stay. That's something to be said.
Yes.
They never feel like they're out of it.
Yeah, sometimes when you see teams that don't expect to be trailing, it's just a bit more miserable and a bit more gloomy. It's more Weber's dugout here trying to almost support them back into the game.
They didn't have to go through a lot of losing. Like I said, 17 losses, but in conference they only lost 1 series. Kaiser swept them. They had the Sun Conference Player of the Year in Keegan Martin, who bats now.
Yeah, that's one thing about being a favourite and losing. Just haven't done it. You haven't experienced having to come back too often. A lot of teams, they've probably just controlled games all season, and it takes some getting used to not mentally give up because you're losing.
Another throw over with Schultz over there. Runner took off. That's just over top of us.
Some brave people parked in that first row of the car park.
I'm going to make a correction here because I'm just now realizing and looking. David Zamora is the runner over at first, and the way that the stats read, it looks like he was a pinch hitter and then walked. I didn't see that change. We're far away. So we'll keep an eye on that. But what we do know is Keegan Martin is in the box. Already has a hit today. Swings through the 2-2, and he'll strike out. Something we just don't see from him a lot. Just the 15th strikeout of the year for Keegan.
Yeah, I feel like when you're playing against some really big names and some really good players, you almost have to stop them from getting going. You saw Tennessee Wesleyan, their best players, they got going from the first at-bat.
That's in the middle of no man's land. Tough play, not in time. Ball was dropped over at first, and Tug Hollinsworth was able to beat it out anyway. I think he would have been safe even had Wiley held on to it. So first and second now with 2 away for Weber. At a point where they need some runs. Big swing for the first pitch for Ty Matthews. And again, he's in a spot where his team needs some production. He's been the most productive batter this year for Weber International. The Warriors need him now more than ever. 0 for 2 so far against his former team. Downstairs, and it's 1-1. Six home runs this year for Ty, 378 batting average. They need a moment here. Trevor Vikovsky and Noah Wathan talk about their former teammate. Never left in bad blood, just wanted to experience something new. You only get it so much time in college athletics.
I tell you, they will not care that it is their old friend now. They will just want him out.
Yeah, they already had their gamesmanship moment. Now you're just one of those other guys.
Yeah.
1-1, lefty versus the righty. Runners at first and second, and Weber trails by 5. I need to see some type of crooked number here in the bottom of the 5th. Called strike to make it 1-2 on Matthews. Ty flew out to right field and then struck out in his last at bat. 0 for 2 today. One, two. Swung over top of a second strikeout for Ty Matthews. And the 6th for Noah Wathan. He's been dominant through 5 innings. 6-1's our score. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
What if you can have it all? A place to call home, a great job, and a safe and welcoming community to raise your family. You can have all that and more in Kingsport, Tennessee. For the past quarter century, Kingsport has been on a mission to reinvent itself as the first professionally planned and privately financed city of the 20th century. Kingsport has earned the nickname the Model City. From award-winning educational initiatives to business incubators to the surrounding natural beauty, Kingsport is just the right size to have the amenities you need without the traffic and crime of a larger city. With a vibrant downtown, great shopping and dining, and a thriving local economy, Kingsport is the perfect place to call home. Ready to start loving where you live? Choose Kingsport. Visit movetokingsport.com and discover all the reasons why this charming town is the perfect place to.
Welcome back here on SESN. There's the man of the hour from a game ago. Corcoran, Kevin, that is. Man threw a complete game and is now guiding this team with some experience, getting them locked in for the upset. You can see the motivation he has with these guys. He's one of the leaders on this team, and when you throw a complete game and save your pitching, you get to say what you want to your team.
Yeah, you sort of gained that credit. You just literally had a perfect game. Nobody can say, if that was me, not a single person could say anything to me until our next play.
Don't know if we'll see him again here in Kingsport, but what we did see was spectacular. Austin Dobbins is back on to continue to work here in game number 1 for Weber International, the 1 seed here in Kingsport. It will take a comeback if they want to advance to the winner's bracket and play Tennessee Wesleyan. Check swing, and Dobbins will go over and cover on his own. PFP strong. Matthews to Dobbins connection, and we will see 1 out go up on the board, and Trevor Vukoski step into bat.
Yeah, he sort of just stitched himself up a little bit there, almost hitting it exactly where he wanted to go.
Just got caught in an in-between. Trevor is reached on an error and then reached on a fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 2 today. Swings at the first pitch. That's a foul ball.
It was a good connection, though. Timed it well. Just off to the left too much.
Yeah, just a little bit, too. Not like it was a crazy amount. Just missed. There's a shot out to left center field, back at the wall. It's going to hit off the base of it. Stand-up double for Trevor Vukoski.
That's exactly what you need from your captain in the top of the 6th. You're leading. You just need someone to come in and just... The pressure's getting high. It's a nice double into scoring position nice and early, and give yourself a chance to keep extending the lead.
Jackson Mott is going to be the courtesy runner for the catcher. First pitch, ball. Runner takes off for third, and that's going to be a stolen base of third. So another runner over 90 feet away. Courtesy runner uses his speed, and it's strong.
Yeah, I like that. Nice, aggressive. We've seen they've been caught out quite a few times just across the board today with stealing bases, but now they're in a really good position with 1 out.
I was looking at the YouTube comments, and with the infield in here and 3-0 on Mark Snowden. There's a good point out that we were gonna get to and brought it up, so I'll bring it up now. I believe it was Eric and Andrea. I won't mention last names here, but Eric and Andrea were commenting, and they were mentioning that earlier in the broadcast, we were talking about how Coach Martin loves coming to Kingsport, loves it as a place. But there is the flip side of that as the baseball takes place, not favorable to Weber International. And, of course, Indiana Wesleyan has been a thorn in the side of Weber. That was where we were talking about Ty Matthews had some big hits. It was back in 2023. Kingsport was a 4-team bracket that year. 1 seed Weber International, 4 seed Indiana Wesleyan. Indiana Wesleyan swept that bracket and went to the World Series back in 2023. But it all started against Weber International.
Stars are aligning again.
Weber International only played 2 games in that bracket. They lost. They got swept out. Lost their first game to Indiana Wesleyan 9-4, and then Missouri Baptist beat them 14-7. And I didn't see what the call was here, if it was a pitch clock or what. But the 3-2 leads to a runner getting on. And that's going to bring out Coach Martin to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. And he's saying, so if we look and we can kind of see it, the conversation is he didn't make eye contact engagement before he's required to in the pitch clock, which is a pitch clock violation. And so therefore the 3-2 pitch doesn't even have to happen. Ball 4 is awarded, and runners are at the corner with 1 away.
So yeah, now the Wildcats find themselves in a very good position. You've got only 1 out. I think that's so important. Almost see them sacrificing 1 and just getting another run. Extend the lead to 6.
Weber's got their 41st double play of the year. Earlier in the 4th inning, that helped them get out of that inning. Carson Bush is fast, though. So infield has the corners in with 1 out. The middle is back for a double play. Really don't want to concede the run here. Keep making that mountain even higher, pun intended, for us being located in Kingsport, Tennessee. 2-0, pickoff had him for a moment. That was a big stop by Ty Matthews, who blocks it and not let it by him. Have to turn into a catcher over there at first on those pickoffs with a runner at third, because if it gets by you, even if it gets by a hair just to the coach's box, it's a run.
Yeah, any error at this point is going to be a run, so they've got to show why they're the #1 seed.
2-0. Line shot through the glove of Andrew Jaslov, and that's going to get a run in. Base hit, seeing eye single for Carson Bush and an RBI.
Yeah, an excellent hit there. Just found the gap sort of close to the shortstop, but too much power and too much speed, and they extend their lead to 6 runs, and importantly, another one progresses into scoring position, still with 1 out.
That's going to bring out Coach Martin again, and Weber International, who is the #1 seed, is going to have to use more pitching than what they maybe wanted to. That's going to do it for Austin Dobbins. They'll bring in a new arm, and we will introduce you to that new arm. 6-run lead for Indiana Wesleyan over the #1 team in the Kingsport bracket, Weber International. Be right back on SESN.
We didn't come to fix Marco's brakes because it was convenient or fast. We did it because Marco has bigger fish to fry and a lot of hungry people to feed. Kraus Family Ford. Passion drives purpose.
Welcome back. New pitcher in for Weber International is Tyler Helton. Number 30 for this Weber International squad.
Yeah, he actually has the lowest earned run average in the entire squad. Only pitched 35 innings this year, though. 3-0 record for the pitcher.
Has a save. All of his appearances out of the bullpen, 19 of them. 1-0. Lifted and foul. So Tyler, the top reliever, now being tasked here in game 1 for Weber International. Last time he pitched was on the 2nd. He pitched in that doubleheader day against Kaiser and Southeastern. 2 1/3 against Kaiser through .2 an inning, 2/3 of an inning against Southeastern. So not unfamiliar with throwing everything out. Pickoff play on a daylight play is not in time, and count remains 1-1.
Yeah, if Weber wants to give himself any real chance, he probably can't afford to give away any runs. Really, we're in the top of the 6th now. If to give away any more, it's probably out of reach. Although they're the number 1 seed, they can turn it on when they need to, but
yeah, their offense has been prolific all year long. Just need to get out of this 6th inning, but Indiana Wesleyan continues to keep the train moving, as they did an inning ago back in the 4th when they put up 5. Weber offense just hasn't been able to go. Craig Vineyard is 2 for 3 today. Make it 3 for 4.
Wow.
That's going to drop. They're going to send him an aggressive look, and they'll hold him up. It'll get all the way in, and that will be station to station base hit for Vineyard. He's 3 for 4.
yeah, great hit there. Just dropping before it got to the infield, and probably the correct decision to stop at third base. They probably could have been greedy and tried, but with 1 out, bases loaded, they put themselves in a brilliant position.
Yeah, why waste the out that you're not sure is going to happen when you have one of the best hitters on this team and Jay Tomes coming up to bat? And Jay's due 0 for 3 today in this game. First pitch from Helton. Ground ball. 6-4-3. Tyler Helton comes in, gets the double play induced, and Weber is out of the inning. But Indiana Wesleyan continues to extend that lead by 6 runs now, 7-1. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, you're watching NAI Opening Round Baseball on SESN.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
teams in action, we've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The
Bottom of the 6th inning here on SESN in Kingsport, Tennessee, approaching the 8 o'clock hour. In the bottom of the 6th inning. Noah Wathen is still battling here for Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah, Weber need to start to chip away at some point. If they're going to leave it too little, too late if they're not careful.
You don't want to be on a spot where you have to score the bulk runs. But they haven't been able to find an answer for the lefty. He's approaching 80 pitches on the day. 2-2. Line drive right at shortstop. Carson Bush is there, and Jalen Martinez's spot in the lineup as he switches to the DH with the double switch. Is out on the lineout. Will Gisrael is gonna see a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1 with 1 out.
Yeah, Wathen just starting in the perfect way. A nice quick out. If they can have a quick visit here, that'd be perfect for the Wildcats.
0-2 quick strike, and that's exactly what they're getting so far. Wathen is a transfer from Anderson University, so came over with coach. And I see a line drive out to left field. A little chaotic trying to make the play out there for Jay Tomes, and it is the second out.
Yeah, that's another one where it looked promising off the bat, but we've said it and we'll say it again. Home runs are hard to come by in Kingsport.
Even just a little bit too much power to even get a base knock out of it. That's been a hard struggle for this Weber International team, who only has 3 hits today, uncharacteristically 2 errors. Indiana Wesleyan 7 runs on 10 hits. Swung through, and it's 1-1. Cuello is batting. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 6 strikeouts for Noah on the mound today. That's just going to fall short, and it's 1-1. Going to 2-2. Another one lifted to right field. Tracking over is Mark Snowden, and this Indiana Wesleyan team, which has been historically a top program in NAIA, is up 7-1 as we go to the 7th inning here on SESN.
The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Gear up and climb the Hawk's Nest. Work together as a team to complete 4 high ropes challenges, all while suspended 40 feet in the air. Finish with a zip through the canopies on our 310-foot zip line. Our ground course features 9 exciting challenges and is perfect for large and small groups. The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Thrilling fun for group events, parties, and field trips.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Indiana Wesleyan getting ready to bet. That is a close look. Oh, my. That's how close Indiana Wesleyan has been playing today. They've been good. Now in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch swinging and blooping one into left field on a hard hit ball. Braxton Brosmer, who gets his first hit of the game, was 0 for 3 before then.
Absolutely no messing around there. Didn't even want to wait for one. First one came, just dropped it to the left, straight onto base. Job's a good one.
That brings up Drozlek. First pitch is a ball. 1 for 2 today with a walk, 2 runs scored. After his 3 for 3 game earlier today, where he also had a walk. Runner at first, nobody out here in the 7th. That's going to be bounced in. They'll hang on to it.
Yeah, Drozlek's probably been the most consistent across both games. Of course, 3 hits for 3 at-bats last time, 2 runs this time. It's not a bad day at the office.
Not at all. Three and 1. On Drozlek. Ground ball. 6-4-3 double play. The third one of the game. And they've always been timely for Weber.
Yeah, they've got that on lock, haven't they? They've been excellent at it. Whenever they seem to be in a little bit of a sticky situation, they come out with it. And it just sort of gives them that little breather, that little bit of, you can relax.
Yeah, you're good. We can get through this. There's been a couple of moments where it's been a little hairy, but for the most part, this has been a Weber team that's been able to handle adversity. They are resilient.
They just need to get their offense going.
That's the only thing. Giving up 7 runs is a little uncharacteristic. This pitching staff has been good at holding things together. 0-2. Pitch on the outside corner is caught. Seitzinger is batting. 1 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts. The 0-2 from Helton. Fouled straight back. This is the lefty I fear the most.
Yeah.
This is the one. If there's going to be a lefty that hits one back into us, it's going to be Seitzinger. If we do make a play.
Should we go for the double play now?
Yeah, we'll throw it back onto the field. Or we're keeping it. Who knows? But we're getting the ball at some point. It just feels like we're doing that. 0-2. Check swing. No, he did go through, so that is going to be a strikeout. So they say that he swung through and no appeal anywhere, so it is strike 3. Swing and strikeout, 2-3 to complete it, and we are through 7.5 innings. It's stretch time here at Hunter Wright Stadium. 6-run lead for Indiana Wesleyan. Bottom of the 7th inning. 7, 8, 9 in the order are due up. Wathen is still in. That was his 88th pitch. It was a strike. And he continues to put this team on his back. It's just missed, and it's 1-1 on Steven Nitsch, the catcher who's 0 for 2 today. Weber International has only been able to muster 3 hits. They've gotten a run, but it was because of an error. There's going to be the 4th hit right down the line into right field. Making the turn and heading for second is Steven Nitsch. He will slide head first in, and that is the first hit for Weber International. First extra base hit of the game, first hit since the 5th inning, and check off a ton of boxes. That could be the momentum boost.
Yeah, that just arrows towards that far right corner, just almost in a straight line from the minute it left the bat. But yeah, momentum builds off of something big. That could be the one that sort of gets everything going, gets the wheels moving.
Caleb Henry will be the courtesy runner. Jaslov swings at the first pitch, and it is 0-1. Not saying that it's not meaningful, but just checking a runoff would be huge. Even if it's the only one you get, at least it shows you that you can score on your own.
Yeah.
Because remember, they got on base, and it was a throwing error from Wathen, who threw the ball away on a pickoff, and that's what led to the first run and the only run that Weber has been able to get today.
Yeah, it's all mental things and just ticking it off.
1-1 is outside, it's 2-1. And you wonder, too, the conversation in the Wildcat dugout is, what is the leash, even with a 6-run lead? What is the leash for Noah Wathen?
I tell you what, they would not have had it in their pre-game plan to have been able to go for 2 pitches and win both games. They would have not been, I can 1,000,000% guarantee they wouldn't have had that on their prediction.
Looking at the pitch count right now, it's going to take at least one more arm. We said that for Tennessee Wesleyan, and then 116 pitches later.
I feel like it depends, because if you're flying, you wouldn't want to come out at all.
This could lead to a conversation. First 2 are on, base on balls, and that's just the 4th walk of the day for Noah. Came in with 61 1/3 innings pitched, and here comes the pitching coach for Indiana Wesleyan. Dalton Miller's in his 4th season. Graduate of Wesleyan back in 2023. Currently obtaining his master's degree at Indiana Wesleyan as well. Just giving Noah a chance to breathe here.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's not like he's having a bad game at all. He's having a brilliant game. And two balls that have benefited Weber are going to be expected at some point. If you can just weather this and get through this sort of momentum, this sort of storm that Weber are going to give you, be flying. If you can't, then fair enough, you change the picture. But he's done so well for the first 6-7 innings. Just give him the chance to get himself out of this.
He's gotten to this point a couple of times before, pitching into the 7th. He's only gotten through it once this year. He's only thrown 7 complete innings once. That was against Goshen back on the 20th of March. Since then, the longest he had gone was 6 innings against Grace. Swinging bunt. They got the tag. Runners move up here for...
Yeah, that's a good play for Weber. I know it's probably not what they planned to do, but to move 2 into scoring position and still got 2 outs, they won't mind that.
That was Zamora. Sacrifice on a swinging bunt to move everybody up. So now you have 2 runners in scoring position, like you mentioned, Frank, and you have the top of the order up, the Sun Player of the Year.
There's worse people to have coming up.
1 for 3 today, does have a strikeout. Pitch on the outside, and it's ball 1. That was the 95th pitch for Wathen. Slicing into the outfield. 1 run is in. That's all they'll have through the start. They'll split the runners at 1st and 2nd. But the Sun Conference Player of the Year comes through again. His 2nd hit of the game. This one comes with an RBI attached to it.
Yeah, an excellent hit. Just dropping short of the outfield, but well away from the infield. And when you're in a position with 2 outs, you can almost, you need runs. You can take that risk to start swinging at things, and you need to take risks to get yourself back into this game, and that's exactly what's just worked there.
First earned run of the game, and then the next pitch has popped up on the infield, and that's going to be the 2nd out. Hollinsworth got underneath it.
That out is actually quite big for the Wildcats, because now up to 2 outs, it just becomes a little bit more strategic. They can't just swing at things, and I think that's massive. That could really get the Wildcats out of trouble.
Ty Matthews again. 7-2 is the score. Runners at 1st and 3rd for Matthews. His first pitch that he sees is on the outside. This will be his 4th at bat against Within. Fly out and 2 strikeouts. He swings, sends it out to right field. Tracking it is Snowden. And Indiana Wesleyan only gives up the 1 run. They still lead 7-2 over Weber International. 2 innings left here in Kingsport for day 1 of the NAIA opening round.
We didn't come to fix Marco's brakes because it was convenient or fast. We did it because Marco has bigger fish to fry and a lot of hungry people to feed. Kraus Family Ford. Passion drives purpose.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
What if you can have it all? A place to call home, job, and a...
Nomar Vasquez is the new third baseman. For Weber International. First pitch swinging for Nick Wiley, and it is gone! Indiana Wesleyan gets that run right back, and it's a 6-run lead again. The man who leads this team in home runs adds another one to his impressive season total. 20th of the year for Nick Wiley.
That is so big. They just lost. They gave one run away. And there he is. There's the man that's been doing it for so long, doing it when you need someone to turn up. And the minute it left his bat, that looked like it was going up that mountain.
Neither of us were really looking at the field, but the moment we heard that ting, both of our eyes shot up.
Was it they say there ain't no mountain high enough?
Yeah, something like that. Another line drive into the bullpen, and that's going to be strike one here with Tyler Helton on the mound. Nick Wiley has 20 home runs this season. He has the career home run record at Indiana Wesleyan. There's another one out to right center field. This one's going back, and it will be tracked down and caught in the gap by Tug Hollinsworth for Trevor Vukoski.
There's another one that made that sound. That really satisfying ding.
If Trevor had gotten around and pulled that, he might have gotten it out, but he hit it for a right-handed hitter, the deepest part of the ballpark. And now Mark Snowden will bat. Snowden sees the first pitch strike, gets 0-1. Weber International 37-17 on the year. Indiana Wesleyan 35-22. That one bounces from Helton.
Some good speed to run down the line and get that back, though, from Corsoran.
Yeah. Hey, you pitched a complete game. You're on foul ball duty. This is the NAIA. 1-1. Goes away, and it's 2-1. Weber International has uncharacteristically had a couple of errors, given up more runs than we're used to seeing, 8 of them to be exact, but Indiana Wesleyan came ready to be in a fight, and they hit first and didn't look back.
Yeah, absolutely. They've just turned up to be counterful, which is what they would have wanted to begin with, and their attacking's been good, their pitching's been solid. Weber just never really got into the game. every time they sort of strike back, the Wildcats just turn it up a gear.
It's going to get away. It's going to be 3-2 when they get him back.
There he goes again.
He's working hard. Three-two. Ground ball to short. Jaslov's there, takes a big crow hop, throws over, and that's the second out.
Yeah, just gave himself a little bit too much to do there. It almost went perfectly straight to where the shortstop was stood, and just all he had to do was fire that across. That's the literal bread and butter.
Yeah. And that would bring up the 9 spot, Karsten Bush, who 2 for 3 today, 2 RBIs. He was the one back in the 4th inning who grounded into a double play, but that run came across. And if you kind of look at a point in this game, in that 4th inning, yeah, that double play was huge for Weber, but that run still coming across continued to build that momentum. That was a huge swing of momentum in the 4th.
Yeah, it was that 4th innings where the Wildcats just really showed their quality, and they just did not lay off Weber one bit. It's like in a boxing match where the fighter's lying down on the floor and you're just not taking the Wildcats off.
It was 3 hits to open up the inning, a fielding choice error that allowed the run to get in. They had the run cracked down at home, wouldn't have given up anything. And I wonder how the inning would have changed. And so Tyler Helton didn't like the baseball. He'll get some new ones. Here in the 1-1. It's Carson Bush. It's the Weber Warriors that are going to have 6 outs to work with, and they have to get 6 runs. You got to be productive with your outs at that point. You can't waste at-bats, and not saying they have, because they've had some good at-bats, but you have to even more so bear down here in the 8th and 9th. That's going to be slicing towards the line, and it's going to fall in and out of the glove of Cuello. That's going to end up turning into a runner at second on the error. And again, another moment where the Weber Warriors have seemingly misplayed a play that we're not used to seeing that. Uncharacteristic.
Well, we've been saying that basically comes down to the moments where at the start of the game it was errors that meant that the Wildcats were able to score. Then Weber were able to get one back based off of errors. Weber's just made too many for a side of the quality of the Warriors. They're just little things that they probably would. That's probably the one time he'll ever do that. But he's doing it.
Officially in the scorebook as a hit. I will contest that. But a play that they should have made, nonetheless, extends this inning for Indiana Wesleyan.
And now all of a sudden, they're in scoring position.
Yeah, right at second. All it takes now is a base hit. And a 6-run lead can turn to 7. That's going to be driven out to center field, but right at Tug Hollinsworth, who drifts over and makes the grab. Weber International. Heart of the order coming up. They need runs. Down by 6. Indiana Wesleyan is going to send out Noah Wathen. He's at 100 pitches right now and going back out for the 8th. We'll show you on the other side what he's able to do.
We didn't come to fix Marco's brakes because it was convenient or fast. We did it because Marco has bigger fish to fry and a lot of hungry people to feed. Kraus Family Ford. Passion drives purpose.
Approaching the bottom of the hour here on SESN. Bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch is a strike. We told you Noah Wathan is on the mound. Here in the 8th, there is action down in the bullpen, but they have a 6-run lead, and Noah has helped his pitching staff tremendously. Just like his counterpart earlier today, that was Corcoran, who was lights out himself. Kevin went 9, gave up 5 hits, no runs, and struck out 9 in his performance. Noah today through 7 has given up 1 earned run, 2 runs overall, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. He has been as good as you can have in a performance like this. And in the NAIA, in these 5-team tournaments, you have to have at least one guy. And right now, Indiana Wesleyan has 2 guys that are saving their pitching and setting them up for success.
All I'm saying is that that pitching coach has probably got a probable cause for a raise come the fall.
That's certainly an argument to be made. He's going to get some calls, I can imagine. Martinez strikes out. Griswell will step in. Noah, longest outing of the season now at 7 1/3 innings. It's his career high at Indiana University. With the Wildcats after transferring from Anderson University. No one missed. 2-2 now. Had a couple of pitcher of the week accolades. At one point had 16 strikeouts in a game.
Just a nice little battle going on here between Wathan and Gisriel. It's been going on all game, to be fair. Gisriel's struggled to get going for a player of his quality. 0 for 2.
3-2 the count.
This next pitch is massive. If we can get a second out.
Career high in pitching. In innings in a game. That's going to be ball 4, though. We lost him. So Griswell works a walk. No movement in the dugout. They're going to let Noah continue to work here. He's at 103 pitches.
Well, I think if he can get through to the end of this innings without giving away any more runs, then he can probably count himself job well done.
Another pitch in for a strike. Season high in pitches. Maybe we should have looked at this a little bit sooner. 121 pitches against Mount Vernon Nazarene in 5 2/3 innings. Sky high. Coming down from the lights, and that will be caught by Mark Snowden. That's the second out.
So now all of a sudden, the Wildcats are in an even better position. That second out is massive. So they need 6 runs in 4 outs now, the Warriors.
Noah struck out 13 in that game. His season high was 16 in a 7-inning performance. He did that in 103 pitches. He's at 109 right now. First pitch to Nitch is a ball, and it is 1-0. Nitch hit that double right down the right field line, but he got stranded, or later scored. He was the earned run that Noah has given up today. 1-1 on him. Runner at first, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Indiana Wesleyan behind excellent pitching so far. 2 arms have thrown every inning. 2-1. Sent out to left field. They were playing for a lefty shift. This is a long run. He didn't make the catch. This is going to drop. It's going to fall. Vinger didn't get to it. It falls onto the turf. This is going to end up being a triple for Nitch, and a run comes in. It's 8-3, 5-run game.
Wow. Wow. Looked like it was going to be innings over. And now the pitch has changed completely. 1 in scoring position. That would really just make it feel like a nervy 9th innings, I think.
Caleb Henry will run like he has for the catcher all game. If they weren't in a lefty shift in the outfield, that ball probably is caught.
Yeah, he had a lot of ground to make up, a centre fielder.
It almost did. Greg Vineyard was running like a madman to get to it.
Yeah, I don't think we give outfielders enough credit. There is a lot of distance in between them.
Now Austin Jaslov is in for a strike, and it's 1-1. 0 for 2 today, has a walk in his last at bat. And if you could cut it down to 4, try and make that, you're trying to make your 9th inning as easier. Not as, you can't say easy as possible. It's not easy to score runs. But you're trying to make it, that mountain, a little bit flatter. A little bit flatter.
Just trying to make it a reality that it is possible to.
I mean, we've seen Weber this year put up cricket numbers in the innings. Yeah. They're able to do it. But man, the 1 seed they're in trouble right now. Wathen has been incredible. He's at 120 pitches. And on his season high 121st pitch, he gets through 8 with another strikeout. He's got 8 of them today. He puts the team on his back, only gives up 2 earned runs, 3 of them all together. And Noah Wathen, take a bow, sir. 9th inning when we come back on SCSN.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com. All of the ways to watch your favorite local and regional sports. Join us now on Twitch TV. You can also find NSBN on Amazon Fire TV or visit us live on YouTube as we stream games there as well. Another fan favorite way to watch is nsbnsports.com. You can also find us
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
Ninth inning. Tyler Helton is back in on the mound, and Weber needs a hold here. 5-run lead for Indiana Wesleyan. First pitch swung on and fouled in the box, so we'll do it again.
Yeah, even if the Wildcats can even just achieve maybe 1 run, that just further give them an extra buffer going into that bottom of the ninth. Just, I mean, 5. They'd have definitely taken 5 coming into the game, but any more would be a bonus.
Not to take everybody away, but the NAIA ball folks are doing their nightly recap. So if you got your phone, they're in a Twitter space right now, and you can get a good feel. I wish I could be in there right now and be like, this is insane. 0-2, ground ball through the hole. Indiana Wesleyan continues to get base knocks. Their 14th hit of the game.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Just get the first one on base. And it just asks the Weber defense a question as to how are they going to deal with it. They can't just focus on the batter. They've just puts their mind in 2 different places now. And based off of that, I'd like to think the NAIA Bull are talking about this game right now.
I'm going to open it and start talking to them. I'm going to request to talk and be like, guys, tune in to SCSN right now. Want to know on Brosmer, who's been working through it. Pickoff attempt doesn't go. One for 4 today with a strikeout. Pitch on the inside, it's 2-0. Towering, lost it in the light for a moment. That's going to drop. It's going to hit off the back wall. Cuello lost it in the lights. Runner coming to the plate. Throw is going to be in time as Indiana Wesleyan was looking to extend it. It was a run through the stop sign for Jay Tomes, and the runner is at second with 1 away.
I think they wanted him to stop at third based off of the coach's reaction. He does not look best pleased, and they didn't need to take that risk. They would have had no outs and a man on third, but
they had a runner at second and third. And you know how important, that's the thing is Coach Bear over at third base knows that this Weber International team can score. And so to make sure you get those runs and don't run into outs, that's important. If you can cash in on those extra runs, that could be the difference. That's going to be a foul ball in the box. And it's 0-1.
Well, if he'd have stayed there, all they would have needed was 1 base hit and 3 outs.
Yeah.
To at least add to the tally and just increase the buffer going into the final 3 outs.
Well, you also give a little bit of momentum back to Weber because they get a relay out from it after a miscue out in right field.
Yeah, they get to recover.
Yeah, so and you don't get, and what was a misplay you don't get a chance to take advantage of the misplay. Line drive to center field, right on cue. They will throw it in. It's going to get away and go all the way to home. Probably could have gotten to third as the cut was missed, but there's 2 outs away, and that's a perfect example because if the runner was at third there,
he's home.
He's home on a sacrifice fly. That was a perfect sacrifice hit.
You can almost feel the frustration from the coach.
You know it, and that's when you're around the game for as long as Coach Bear has been. You know how important runs like that are against this Weber team.
Or if it comes back to cost them, be gutted for the Wildcats.
It doesn't now today in this game. It's not going to end your season by any means. Both of these teams are going to play tomorrow. It's just a matter of where. Are you going to be in an elimination game, or are you going to be in a? Are you going to be in the winner's bracket game? That's the question. Runner's going to take off and steal third. Lost track of him, and Helton wasn't able to get off the mound quick enough and anybody to adjust, so it's a stolen base for Broschmer. But still, mentioning you're still going to play tomorrow. So it's not like you're in an elimination game and that run could end your season.
No.
But at the same time, it could set you up in a spot that you don't want to be in. You want to be in the driver's seat here. And if you're the 4 seed in the winner's bracket game, that's a driver's seat.
Well, you get that extra, like a buffer in the sense that if you win this one, you can afford to lose another one and you're not going home.
The 0-2, driven out to right center field again. This one is dropped again. Mike Cuello drops it again. Out in right field on a tougher play than any of the others, and a run does come in.
Just another opportunity there for Indiana Wesleyan to capitalize on another.
They're going to bring everybody together. I think Weber is appealing if the runner touched first base. That's a huge call. They say he did touch first.
Potentially one more out of optimism rather than anything. It's not the happiest looking dugout.
Well, they know they're going to be in a fight in the 9th, and then if they can't get the runs, you're in an elimination game tomorrow. Indiana Wesleyan, though, who has been... I hope the NAIA boys are listening because they said the Indiana Wesleyan could be a little bit of a dark horse. I felt like the 4 seed was maybe low.
Well, they've embraced being the 4 seed.
They certainly have.
It's almost just an opportunity to see, go on, who can you upset and make a name for yourself?
There's another base hit, and here comes another run. Indiana Wesleyan continues to pour it on here in the 9th inning. It is 10-3, 7-run lead.
Wow. It would need a miracle from the Warriors. At this point, you could let Nick Wathan stay out and pitch if you wanted him to.
You have to. I wouldn't bring in an arm here. Get through the inning here. Save pitching for tomorrow when you're going to have to play 2 games.
And against a very good Tennessee Wesleyan side as well.
They will await tomorrow in what should be a really good matchup. I'm going to update my scorebook while we're doing this. Make sure we're all on the same page. Indiana Wesleyan, though, a 10 spot in this game. The NAIA opening round. But right now, it looks like they're going to have a date with Tennessee Wesleyan in the winner's bracket game tomorrow, and Weber International is going to await the winner of the elimination game between Alexandria and Williams Woods. And at this rate, the bracket will not be chalk. Hear that during March Madness a lot. And if you do not know what that means that the high seed wins in every matchup. Check swing and got away. So it's going to be a foul ball, 1-1 in the count with 2 outs here. Indiana Wesleyan has scored another 2 runs here in the 9th to make it 10-3 and keep extending that lead. The 4 seed Wildcats continue That one's going to hit him, and Helton is losing it a little bit, but again, you're kind of on an island out there.
Yeah, it's a tough place to be. I feel like being a pitcher is probably one of the more lonely positions. A lot of the pressure is on you, and when it's not going right, it's just a tough place to be. I mean, he came into it in a bad situation as well. It wasn't like this is his fault particularly.
Right. Foul ball. It's going to go 0-1 here on the 8 spot, Mark Snowden. Weber is going to have 9-1-2 due up, but they got to score 7 runs. So it really doesn't matter who's up. Everybody's going to have to bat.
And score.
Yeah. I'll say this. Crazier things have happened, and it is postseason baseball. Anything can happen in this game. 0-2 as Helton gets one back in. Called strike 3. Weber finally is able to get out of the 9th inning. And now we'll see what heroics this offense has. They need 7 runs in the 9th inning if they want to have a chance to win this one. We'll be right back on SCSM for the conclusion of Game 3 of Day 1.
Come on.
The closer is on for Indiana Wesleyan, the IWU Wildcats, looking to upset the #1 Weber International Warriors. 9 spot in the lineup. David Zamora is back in. He re-enters to pinch hit and swings at the 0-1 offering. New pitcher, the closer, Kenna Recken Jr. 3.97 ERA. He does have a save, only 11 and a third inning pitch. But folks, he's got electric stuff. Fouled back, and that keeps Zamora alive here in the 9th. Zamora is 0 for 1.
This is a massive game. This can be one of the games that people talk about. And it's showing a lot of faith in a new pitcher to come in and just close the game out. I mean, give him a nice buffer, but it's one of those ones you'll enjoy as a pitcher, I think.
Another one fouled off. 4th pitch of the at-bat is fouled away. Rankin Jr. wearing number 41, traditionally number 17 from Indianapolis, Indiana, in his sophomore year with the Wildcats.
Pitching quick.
It's a hard pitch. You can hear it off the catcher's glove. It's got a big pop. Didn't start pitching this year until April, and then has been consistently a part of the back end of the bullpen. That one misses, and it's 2-2, and it's a really sprawling motion. He's kind of all over the place, and then it kind of whips into you. 2-2. That one misses, and it's 3-2. You just need base runners if you're Weber International.
Yeah, I think Weber would have been told to not take too many risks. And you've only got 3 outs, and you've got to do a lot with them, so you don't want to be flying out to stupid things or swinging out.
Another one fouled away. The 3-2 was.
I think they would have said if they can't get anything from it, stay in. Don't get struck out. Foul out if you have to, but stay in. Make it difficult.
Got a battle. Choke up on the bat. Short swing to the ball. 3-2. Inside. It's going to hit Zamora, and he's going to head down to first. There's the base runner Weber International needed.
There was just that collective all from everybody in attendance. The way that hit him, and the speed it was going.
You could hear it.
Yeah. That will hurt tomorrow.
And that will bring up the top of the order now. So Zamora gets on, you get a base runner, and not saying that the base runner is the end-all be-all to come back in this game, but you get some motion, and suddenly something that Indiana Wesleyan hasn't been used to seeing today might shake the defense just a little bit, but you can start doing a little bit more, and you can't start a comeback until you get somebody on. First pitch will get away, and that will move Zamora to second. You don't want to run into an out either. That's the other thing. Yes, every run matters, but your runner at second has no meaning on the outcome of this game. He needs to score on just base hits. You don't want to run into any outs. There's no reason to.
Sort of feeling a little bit of nerves coming around for the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. I feel like until they've got maybe that first out of the innings, it's just going to be a little bit of tension. A new pitcher, guy in scoring position. It's just a little bit edgy now.
I mean, this is surely the biggest outing for Kenna that he's ever had.
Yeah.
At least at Indiana Wesleyan. I mean, last year in his freshman year only had 2 appearances. And this year has only been pitching in the second half of the season.
I mean, that shows that he's built up some trust.
But back-to-back hit by pitches, and suddenly you're going to have a meeting here. and rally in your young pitcher. Reel them in a little bit more. Back-to-back hit by pitches, 2 runners are on. Frank, you just don't want to open the gate to momentum.
No.
You want to
scary.
Yeah, you want to see. You don't want Weber to believe they even have a shot. And the more base runners that get on, the more that belief continues to churn. And belief is a scary thing in sports.
Absolutely. Do you think they're regretting taking out Nick Wathan now and not just giving him one more?
I wonder if they do, but I wonder if they're not even going to mess around. Looks like this is a conversation. The whole entire dugout is ready to welcome in Kenarikin, and I don't think they want to, but they are waiting outside the dugout in case he's done. They're not going to mess around.
When the pitching's been of the quality that it has been for Indiana Wesleyan across both games today, it's no surprise that the standard is high. We had Curser who did he had a complete game shutout. Nick Wathan was very good. It's no surprise that they don't want to mess around. The standard is high, and people have to match that standard.
You also don't want to waste Rakin's pitches either. If he doesn't have it and he's only at 10 pitches, well, they can use him tomorrow without any worry, maybe in a less stressful situation. But they will bring in the new arm. We'll step aside and tell you more about who's coming in to try and close this one out when we come back on SCSN.
We didn't come to fix Marco's brakes because it was convenient or fast. We did it because Marco has bigger fish to fry and a lot of hungry people to feed. Kraus Family Ford. Passion drives purpose.
Back here in Kingsport, 0-1. Tarek McLaughlin is the pitcher now from Rochester, Indiana. In his junior year, the righty comes in of relief of Kenarikin Jr., who hit the first 2 batters he saw in Indiana Wesleyan, said, let's go with somebody else.
Yeah. The pitching's been so good across both games, and it's just a little bit of a blip that's almost given Weber a little bit of something to hold on to and maybe try and inspire himself off of those 2 hit by pitches. So I'm not completely against that decision to change it up and just kill the game.
The first 2 batters were the 9-1 hitters that got hit. They stand at first and second. The Warriors are down by 7. That one misses, and it's 3-1. Indiana Wesleyan has the #1 team in the nation, or in Kingsport, not in the nation, in Kingsport, on the rope. They're the #8 team in the last NAIA Top 25 poll. 3-1. Fouled into the glove. It's 3-2.
Can't help but feel that this is a very important pitch here. Just to try and build some momentum, it's that or the bases are loaded.
McLaughlin is a 5.79 ERA. He's 8-3, 19 appearances, 7 of them for starts. He's got a feel for everything. 3-2. Missed. It's ball 4, and it was close. Got to earn the strike zone, I guess. And storylines are sometimes written on the wall when you get into a game, and this is one of those moments. Ty Matthews is 0 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts and a couple of flyouts to left. Those were all against Noah Wathen. First pitch he sees is a strike. Matthews, who is 0 for 4, played 4 years at Indiana Wesleyan.
Every single thing inside him will want him to swing at this and stick this as far as he can. Probably would have been told not to by his coach, but there is no way he doesn't want to hit for the houses.
He could make it a 2-run game.
But like we were saying, the outs are very valuable, and the risk of if it doesn't work out, it's 1 out you've lost when the bases are loaded. And right now, if he just keeps being patient and keeps walking, they'll just stay in the game.
2 strikes on him now. McLaughlin, with the bases loaded, nobody is out for the Warriors. The 1-2 misses. It's 2-2. It's a 7-run game, but it does not feel like it. Feels like we're on pins and needles here in Kingsport.
I was going to say, we had a 7-run game earlier on, and it did not feel anything like this.
Tying run is in the hole. Through the hole and into center field. Matthews gets a base hit. 1 run is in, 2 run is in, and this game is not over. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. Ty Matthews comes up huge against his old team.
Wow, wow, wow. It was only a matter of time before Ty Matthews got a good hit. Struggled today against his former side, but wow, when he needed to, he keeps his team alive, and I really wonder how much do Indiana Wesleyan almost wish that they kept Wathan in for 1 more innings. We saw with Tennessee Wesleyan, we were certain Jackson would be taken out. He stayed for the last innings and was done with him 5 balls.
You wonder, because for Matthews, he was 0 for 4 against Wathan. Well, now here's Jalen Martinez, who started this game, and part of the reason why Indiana Wesleyan was able to jump out to the lead they were was because of the 4th inning where Martinez let the bases get loaded and then the defense kind of faltered. And so now a chance for him to make up for it. 1 for 4 today with a K.
Yeah, this would be serious redemption.
There's a called strike, and it's 1-2. Still nobody out here for Weber International. They are the home team, so it's the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-run game now after the 2 RBI single. That's going to be fouled off. We'll do the 1-2 again with Martinez. Started the game on the mound, now is the designated hitter. One-two from McLaughlin. Swung over top of and missed. First out for Indiana Wesleyan.
Wow, how they needed that. Could that be the one that gets it rolling again? Momentum was shifting towards the Warriors. They needed an out.
Momentum is huge there. We were talking about that door being open. Will Grisriel is going to bat here. He'll take a first pitch strike, as they often do when you're down in the 9th inning. You wait until you get a strike, force that pitcher to make a pitch. Now you can load and swing. sword swing. Didn't like the pitch and would love to have that swing back. It's 0-2.
Yeah, the picture changes a bit here. Felt like momentum was all taking it one way. Tarek McLaughlin trying to close that door.
Waste one on the 0-2 to make it 1-2. You have pitches you can do it with. As action starts to get a little bit loose down in the Indiana Wesleyan bullpen. 1-2. Sent out to right field. Runner will tag. This will get a run in. They will let the run score. Keep the runner at first, and it's 10-6.
Yeah, I don't think Indiana Wesleyan will mind that. That second out is probably more important than the one run they've just given away. I know it brings the game to a 4-run game, but 1 out is all they need, and that door feels slightly more shut than it was 2 people ago.
Yeah, you'll absolutely trade the run for the out. First pitch is in for a strike. Here's Mike Cuello, who can really make up for some play. He just had right field is hard here in Kingsport with how the backdrop is, the sun, the lights, and just a couple of miscues out in right field today, and Mike Cuello can make up for it. Just the base knock to keep the train moving and keep the 9th inning alive. Team down by 4. There's a called strike, and it's 1-2. Weber is down to their final strike.
Yeah, the stories just continue to paint themselves. We had Matthews looking for that first one. Martinez looking for redemption. Now Kalo, but could McLaughlin close that door?
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 2-2. Indiana Wesleyan looking to upset the #1 Kingsport Regional member, Weber International. Ground ball up the middle, fielded and thrown over and away, trying to get probably the easiest place to go was second base, but the momentum from Carson Bush took him away, and life continues with this Weber offense on life support.
Yeah, and Tarek McLaughlin continues to try and unplug it. But that plug is still in for now. He's probably been one of the more successful of the batters for Weber today.
Mitch has a double and a triple. First pitch is outside. He'll take until he gets a strike. Once again, the tying run is on deck. The winning run is in the hole. Indiana Wesleyan looking, like I said, a win against the #1 Weber International Warriors, just like they did back in 2023. That was a 4-team bracket here in Kingsport. That year, Indiana Wesleyan went to the NAIA Vista World Series. 1-1. Outside, it's 2-1. McLovin. Rochester, Indiana, the junior. 5-9 on the mound. 2-1 the count. Nitch fouls it into the glove, and it's 2-2. Once again, Weber is down to their final strike here in this winner's bracket game. The 1 seed versus the winner of the first game today. 2-2. Tarek McLaughlin delivers and will stay alive. We'll do it again.
It's like we've been saying the whole time, if you can't get anything, stay alive. Just tip it off behind you, deflect it, do what you need to stay in there.
Whatever it takes. So the 2-2 again. McLaughlin sends it in. Roller to second. Broschmer is there. He'll throw over, and Indiana Wesleyan has upset the #1 team in Kingsport. Just like they did against Taylor University in the Crossroad Championship, they forced it if necessary. They didn't force it if necessary. They have forced themselves into the winner's bracket. They'll face Tennessee Wesleyan tomorrow. It'll be a Wesleyan off here in Kingsport.
Yeah, Tarek McLovin brought in to save the day after a bit of a nervy start to the ninth, and I tell you what, he will be McLovin the way that ended. The upset, probably the biggest upset of the day.
I would assume so.
Get to fact check that, but
yeah, we'll check. But what a game for Indiana Wesleyan. They do everything they were asked. They get it to it, and they put offense up. They play the game. They took advantage of mistakes. They didn't open the window for Weber, and Weber now will have to wait and see who they're going to face next, whether it's LSU Alexandria or if it is Williams Wood. There's the team photo after the win, and a good win for Indiana Wesleyan. That's going to do it for us here on SESN for our day one coverage of the NAIA opening round from Kingsport, Tennessee, and our great sponsor and partner, Visit Kingsport, as well as Urban Edge Network, and all of us here at SESN for our executive producer, Gabe Schrei. That's Frank Osborne. I'm Matt Kibbe. We'll see you tomorrow for a packed action of day two here in the NAIA opening round from Kingsport.
The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Gear up and climb the Hawk's Nest. Work together as a team to complete 4 high ropes challenges, all while suspended 40 feet in the air. Finish with a zip through the canopies on our 310-foot zip line. Our ground course features 9 exciting challenges and is perfect for large and small groups. The Bays Mountain Park Adventure Course. Thrilling fun for group events, parties, and field trips.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.